potential?
It's really interesting. So I guess fundamentally, having done a lot of travel around the world to more than 100 countries, and living the lifestyle of a digital nomad for more than 8 years, just has given me an insight into this lifestyle and the needs on a day-by-day basis. So the traditional suppliers of travel accommodation fall into two categories. They're either leisure, holidays, vacation, whatever you want to call it. It's a leisure product or it's a business product. And a business product normally associated with downtown central business areas. So when we created NomadStays, we said, all right, there's about 3 million digital nomads in the world. It's a finite market, but it's a well-yielding market because these 3 million people are traveling full-time. They're spending more on travel than probably any other travel group, except maybe super luxury. So it's a lucrative market. Now, we didn't need the growth beyond 3 million to make a very sizable business because the value in their bookings was already hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. But what COVID has done is there's created a growth in a whole lot of sub-niche and general digital nomad sort of categories. And so the market now might not be 3 million, it's probably closer to 10 times that, 30 million. Some people are predicting as many as 100 million digital nomads, remote workers in the world today, but there's a whole lot of definitional stuff that dictates what products work for which sub-niches.
Right. So help us understand the niches. What niches? How? I'm sure there are different kinds of digital nomads. Okay, so
Yes.
there are people who are hybrid. That means there are people who have jobs, but they have a contract where it's flexible. That means a part of the year they can work remotely. And then there are digital nomads who are full-time digital nomads. And then there are digital nomads who only travel and work during summers and holidays. Could you distill the differences between different kinds of digital nomads that you have seen?
You are right. Those three are very large categories today in their own right. We actually track about 30 different sub-niches. And sort of people that associate with the lifestyle of a digital nomad. Many won't call themselves digital nomads. Others that are holidayers like to call themselves digital nomads. So it gets a bit blurry on the edges.
Right.
But fundamentally, we're talking about long-term travelers as the major element of what's going on. So they're not sitting in one location for years at a time. They are traveling to different parts of the country or the world. And the second part that is different from a traditional leisure market, leisure travel being the biggest travel sector in the world, is the fact that they're working. So they're not out exploring tourist properties and areas all day, every day. They're actually working at a table, at a desk, or stand-up, or a co-working space, and have got clients and customers to deal with, and that requires online. So they've got this intersection of travel and work, and the work element is not necessarily associated with a natural business district like a downtown city centre where most business travel would go, or a conference centre or something like that. The work element is now distributed around the world.
So what kind of segment were you looking at when you began your business? Like, did you want to cater to a certain segment, or did you want to cater to all kinds of digital nomads? Did you find a niche for yourself to begin with?
Well, the 30 odd different categories didn't exist in quantity when we started, so that's developed since. Fundamentally, we are assisting people that would fall into the explorer category. They have that gene like we do, that just can't wait to explore somewhere else in the world, discover something new, immerse themselves into a community. So travel becomes more dominant than just a roof over your head. So a typical rental landlord is providing accommodation somewhere that's safe and clean and nice and pleasant in a community.
Right.
And for some people, that's important. Our clientele are travellers. They're out exploring the world. But it's hard to travel the world and find something compatible all the time, because laws, products change from country to country. There are very few global platforms like ours where you can actually look up availability. In fact, our early product initiatives have all been copied by the big leisure guys. So when we opened, there were no 30-day discounts on Airbnb. Maximum Booking.com booking was 28 days. None of them had live inventory outside of city centres. They were all request-based. So these things take a long time for a nomad to work their way through. Hi, have you got something? What's the price? Have you got availability for this month or this week? And so nomads would typically open up 3 or 4 conversations to find one place to rent every time they changed house, which was a terrible overhead. So getting the right convenience items was an early part of our growth, is getting that stuff well ahead of what the competitors have now copied us.